Welcome back! If you are enjoying this content and it is helping you travel smarter, please hit the like and subscribe button so you never miss a video. Most people planning a Greek islands trip make the same mistake before they even book a flight. They pick an island based on a photo they saw on social media, without realizing that the Greek islands are not interchangeable. They each have a completely different personality, a completely different crowd, and a completely different kind of experience on offer. Pick the wrong one for the style of trip being planned, and the whole thing can feel like a letdown. This video breaks down the main islands, who each one is actually for, and how to build a realistic itinerary around the ones that fit. Greece has over 200 inhabited islands spread across several distinct island groups. For most first-time visitors, the choice comes down to a handful of the most visited and most accessible ones, but even within that shortlist, the differences are significant. The Cyclades, the Dodecanese, the Ionian Islands, and Crete all offer genuinely different experiences, and understanding those differences before booking is the single most useful thing a traveller can do. Start with Santorini. It is the most photographed island in Greece, and arguably one of the most photographed places on Earth. The images of white cubic buildings with blue domed churches perched on the edge of a volcanic caldera are real, and they are genuinely as beautiful in person as they look in pictures. But Santorini is also one of the most visited places in all of Europe, and during peak season between June and September, the main villages of Iia and Fira become extremely crowded. The famous sunset viewpoint in Iia draws hundreds of people every evening. The narrow pathways fill up early. The experience is still worth having, but going in with realistic expectations about the crowds makes the whole thing more enjoyable. Santorini rewards travellers who wake up early, explore before 10 in the morning, and find the quieter corners of the island away from the main tourist circuits. It is also worth knowing that Santorini is one of the more expensive Greek islands across accommodation, food, and activities. Mykonos has a completely different energy. It is cosmopolitan, loud, social, and built around nightlife and beach clubs in a way that no other Greek island quite matches. The famous windmills and the narrow whitewashed streets of Mykonos town are genuinely charming and worth exploring, particularly in the early morning before the day heats up. But the soul of Mykonos is its beaches and its after-dark scene. Paradise Beach and Super Paradise Beach are the best known, and operate as full beach club experiences through the summer, with music, sun lounges, and crowds that build through the afternoon and peak in the evening. Mykonos is the right choice for travellers who want social energy, a lively atmosphere, and an island that does not slow down. It is not the right choice for anyone looking for quiet or for an authentic slice of traditional Greek island life. For something more authentic and considerably less crowded, Naxos is consistently underrated. It is the largest of the Cyclades Islands, has excellent beaches, a beautiful medieval old town called the Hochra, and a mountainous interior with traditional villages that see relatively few tourists even in high summer. The island is largely self-sufficient in a way that most of the smaller Cyclades are not. It produces its own cheese, its own potatoes, its own citrus, and its own local spirit called Kitron. Eating and drinking well on Naxos is easier and cheaper than on Santorini or Mykonos, and the overall pace is significantly more relaxed. For travellers who want beautiful beaches, good food, genuine character, and the ability to rent a car and explore without fighting crowds, Naxos is one of the best choices in the entire Aegean. Crete deserves its own conversation because it is less an island and more a destination in itself. It is the largest Greek island and the fifth largest island in the Mediterranean. The history alone is worth the trip. The Minoan palace of Kounosous near the capital, Heraklion, is one of the most significant archaeological sites in Europe and represents one of the oldest advanced civilizations on the continent. Beyond the history, Crete has extraordinary food, a strong local identity, dramatic gorge hiking including the famous Sakhma-Ria Gorge, and a range of landscapes from beach resorts on the north coast to wild and quiet coves on the south. A minimum of a week is needed to scratch the surface of Crete, and 2 weeks rewards anyone who gives it the time. ROHDS is the best choice for travellers who want history alongside beach time. The medieval old town of ROHDS is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is genuinely one of the best preserved medieval cities in the world. Walking through the Street of the Knights, the old mosques, the Byzantine churches, and the Grand Master's Palace inside the walls of the old city is a different experience from anything else in Greece. The island also has good beaches, reliable summer weather, and strong transport connections from across Europe, making it one of the most accessible islands for a first Greek trip. The Ionian Islands, Corfu, Kefalonia, and Zakynthos sit on the western side of Greece and have a noticeably different character from the Cyclades. The landscape is greener, the architecture carries more Venetian and British influence from centuries of occupation, and the overall vibe is softer and more lush. Corfu, in particular, has a beautiful old town that is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a genuinely sophisticated food and wine scene. Kefalonia is widely considered one of the most naturally beautiful islands in Greece, with dramatic cliffs, extraordinary beaches, and a quieter pace than the most visited Cyclades. On logistics, island hopping is one of the great pleasures of visiting Greece, and the ferry network connecting the islands is extensive. For the Cyclades, ferries run frequently through the summer from the port of Piraeus near Athens. High-speed ferries cut travel time significantly, but cost more than the standard options. Booking ferries in advance during peak season is strongly recommended, as popular routes sell out. Domestic flights also connect Athens to most of the larger islands and are worth considering for longer distances, like Athens to Kreet or Athens to ROHDS, where the ferry journey is a full day or overnight. A practical note on timing: July and August are peak season across all the Greek islands. The weather is reliably sunny and hot, the full range of ferry connections is running, and everything is open. But the crowds are at their maximum, and prices are at their highest. June and September are widely considered the best months to visit by experienced Greece travellers, warm enough to swim, busy enough that everything is operating, but noticeably quieter and more affordable than the height of summer. May and October are worth considering for anyone whose priority is avoiding crowds entirely, though some ferry routes run less frequently and some smaller businesses close. For accommodation, booking well in advance for summer travel is not optional, it is essential. The best cave houses in Santorini, the boutique hotels in Mykonos town, and the traditional guest houses in Naxos fill up months ahead of peak season. Leaving accommodation to the last minute in July or August is a reliable way to end up paying significantly more for significantly less. The Greek islands are one of those destinations where the more research done before arriving, the better the experience on the ground. Pick the right island for the right kind of trip, build in enough time to slow down and actually feel the place, and Greece will almost certainly deliver on every expectation. It is a remarkable part of the world,